Welcome into my state of mind on WPRI.com, the online version. We'll get back to regularly scheduled television shows sooner or later at 7:30 on MyRI TV and Fox Providence at midnight. In the meantime, the theme was grab your keys. You got your keys. Where's your wallet? You got your purse, and now your face mask, which I don't have with me. But that was the theme today. The governor has decided that that's got to be part of your routine right now, and she's followed it up with an executive order, I think the 27th emergency order of this COVID-19 season, so to speak. You can say crisis, but aren't we tired of hearing the word crisis? I mean, it's a thing we got to live with and hope less people die with right now. But this whole mask thing is quite the conversation, and it gets people excited. Those who believe it's bogus health, and those who believe that it's government overreach, and those that believe it just looks funny and feels funny and makes them uncomfortable, and so they don't want to do it. And then there are those who understand that, based on at least the current science, that if you don't do it, you're not community. And we should talk about that part of this, right? Because one of the things that I'm pretty sure about is that if you questioned 10 people 6 feet apart somewhere, Kennedy Plaza, the mall, the malls are closed. The park, a lot of the parks are closed. But you know what I mean. In the neighborhood, if you could find them. If you could find 10 people and ask them, what is the purpose of using the mask? I bet you still the majority of people would say to protect themselves, as opposed to protect others. And I think even those who have a philosophical argument and I can do anything I want, my civil liberties are being impacted by the idea that I can decide what's good for me. Yada. I mean, that's been an age-old argument. Smoking, seatbelts, all that kind of thing, right? So I think that if the public service announcement was really repetitive about the idea that the mask protects you. Not you wearing it, you around the person wearing it. I think the better benevolent part of people would start to come out and there would be less aggravation about it. But I know one thing. What we can't do is start shaming others in public regarding this. And His Honorable Mayor Elorza, Jorge Elorza, said today on the radio that he thinks it's the responsibility of people wearing masks in public to socially shame, his words, socially shame those that don't. I don't know if Elorza got the memo, but he's running a city that has its fair share of conflict from time to time. And as the weather gets warmer and the job loss gets more significant and the frustration gets higher and the availability to hit a park is not yet available and the heat is in the kitchen and all those things, I'm not so sure it's wise for people to be yelling, "Hey, you, wear your mask." Now, there might be opportunities to suggest why it's important, and diplomacy is always the better choice. But once again, Mayor Loza shows that he's really not thinking very smartly about this. He's a little bit of a, let's put it this way, the way he thinks, the way he speaks sometimes needs to be taken with a grain of salt. In the meantime, he's also kind of throwing his elbows around about how Providence might have to do its own thing because the rest of the state is da-da-da-da. And I'm not talking about just masks. I'm talking about the entire Phase 1 opening that we are now scheduled to see coming this weekend. Governor Raimondo was asked about Mayor Elorza kind of saying he might want to do things differently. And she was like, well, listen, mayors can do things differently, but I'd really like to see them on the same page. And she's right. But that's also her leadership challenge. Nobody wants Mayor Elorza in a conference room. I'm telling you that right here now. I mean, most of the leadership in this state, when you mention his name, they're like, oh, geez. But her leadership requires her to broaden her leadership message. And she has done, amidst some good work, really good work on the health side. I get it. And her diligence and being there every day, she has done an awful job of spreading the responsibility and accountability around, which would only increase her leadership success. She doesn't get that. What she should be doing when it comes to phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 is bringing mayoralties together, having Alorza next to her, kind of negotiated with a same message, having Grevian in Pawtucket, having Baldelli in Woonsocket, having DYSOM in Central Falls. But she doesn't think that way. She is all in on how she's going to run this thing, and she's going to either flourish or fail by herself. Anyway, that's my thinking on the whole mask and opening thing for today. The order, as I mentioned to you, just came out on the masks, and what it has at the back of it is interesting. It directs the Department of Health to determine whether somebody ought to be fined for not wearing a mask. Now, these emergency orders need to be constitutionally discussed and tested, because our General Assembly ought to be the entity that creates a law that creates a fine for you and me because we didn't do the legal thing. But because our General Assembly has been in a fetal position underneath a desk hiding from this whole COVID-19 virus, we're left with an authoritarian touch to this, where we all are subordinate to one elected leader in Rhode Island, Gina Raimondo. Not good. Wash your hands. Try not to touch your face. And I guess grab your phone, grab your keys, grab your wallet, and grab your mask.